Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavitvaram Satgurum Brahmavitvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Satgurave Namaha. 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 We were seeing the summary of the first Valli in the form of Sadhana Chatushtaya, the fourfold qualifications which are needed for a student of Vedanta, and also reflecting upon how Nachiketa embodies all those qualities of Sadhana Chatushtaya. We started with the quality of Viveka, which means the ability to discern. Between any two given things, the ability to discern is called as Viveka. It starts with right and wrong, dharma and adharma, do's and don'ts, healthy and unhealthy. If a person doesn't have Viveka, two options don't even present in front of him. Whatever the mind wants, he will end up doing it. It's easy to understand with food. If a person has not put in effort to get Viveka, this choice that there is something called as healthy food and unhealthy food, choice itself is not available. Whatever is our taste, per that taste he will end up eating. One who has trained his mind in worldly Viveka, that person becomes fit to enter spiritual Viveka. If worldly Viveka is not strong, spiritual Viveka is still far away. What is spiritual Viveka? Ability to discern between what is eternal, the Om, and everything else which is impermanent, starting from vasanas, body, mind, intellect, perceiver, feeler, thinker. This ego is represented by PFT. The one who perceives, who feels, who thinks. That ahankara is also an impermanent thing. World of objects, emotions and thoughts, they are also impermanent. One might not be perfect in holding on to that truth yet, but at least he knows what he has to hold on to. If he gets this conviction right on day one, he doesn't need to come on the second day. If a person gets this firm conviction, Atma alone is real, everything else is unreal. You see, more than that conviction, what is he seeking? But it is called as a qualification because he only appreciates this at this point. Vedanta has shown him there are two things. One is real that I am supposed to hold on to, and another thing is called as unreal, which I should let go of. Let go of meaning I should not make it as my goal. Towards that thing which should not be my goal, towards that thing I should have Vairagya. So Viveka and Vairagya will always go together. In Viveka I separate, in Vairagya I let go of that thing which I should not be taking up. Ability to not allow the mind to get colored by that object that is called as Vairagya. Ranja was the root word. Ranja means to color. Strong coloring is called as Raga. Not allowing strong coloring is called as Viraga. Not allowing that object to color our mind, that is called as Vairagya. Then we saw the third sadhana chatushtaya called as Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. 6 things were there. First thing was called as Shamaha. Shama means the ability to quieten the mind at the right time. Before it takes off in a storm, he quietens it at the right time. That ability is called as Shamaha. Second one was Damaha. Even if mind is agitated, mind is disturbed, the guards which are standing at his sense organs, particularly speech, body language, all of that is so well regulated, it doesn't spoil his vyavahara. Dhamma means that in spite of mind losing its control, it saves us from a lot of calamities. Technically speaking, sense organs are under the control of mind. Mind has lost control, sense organs also will lose control. But Dhamma is his training, where he trains his mind and trains his sense organs in such a way that it is strong enough to withdraw or strong enough to bear the storm of the mind also. So knowingly this person takes on certain rules, where he says, no matter what happens, I am not going to transgress these boundaries. That is his ability to strengthen Damaha. Now is the third quality, which is called as Uparati or Uparama. Shama, Dhamma, third one is Uparama. Uparama means once a person decides this is my goal, other than that goal, he has the inner stamina to pull his mind back from all other distracting things. All other things which are draining away his time, he is able to plug those leakage drainers of his time. That is something which gives him the space that he needs, the time that he needs to actually pursue what he wants to pursue. That ability is called as Uparama. For this, what is the main point? He has to know what is his goal. Having known his goal, everything else he can withdraw his mind. One example for Uparati is, see, when children go to college, so many things are there. There are fraternities, there are clubs, there are so many groups, and everybody says, we are the best. You have to join us, you will get something out of this. What is Uparati there? Thinking about this question, why am I here? What is my fundamental purpose for which I have come? Other than that, everything which is there, I can always pull back. Those things which are not aligning with my goal, from those things he can happily withdraw. We have to keep thinking about these qualities. It will not open up right in the beginning. I'll give another example. Let us say you come to our retreats, whichever retreat you have been part of. You see the whole schedule which is there. By 9 o'clock, we have accomplished so many things. We have done our chanting, done meditation, done yoga, done 1 hour of Shravanam, Vedanta Shravanam, done with breakfast. And it's only 9 o'clock. And you see on a weekend, 9 o'clock where we are sometimes. True or not? What helped us be so effective in those 3-4 hours? Uparati. If we didn't have a schedule, we would not be doing some erroneous thing. It is not some adharmic thing that our mind is occupied with. They are all trivial things only, but powerful enough to keep our mind busy, powerful enough to drain our time. That ability to remain focused on our goal is called as Uparati. You must have seen the demonstration that people do in workshops, corporate workshops and all, to teach time management. If I start telling, you will say, yes, you have seen it. They'll get a jar. In that jar, they'll put rocks. Then the demonstrator asks, is there more space inside? If they are children, they say, no, it is full. Then he has some gravels that he brings along with him, puts it, fills that jar. Is there more space? He says, no, it is full. Then he puts fine sand. Same question. They say, no, it is almost full now. Finally, he puts water. Then the main question, what did you all learn from this? One child said, no matter how much you have, you can always fit more. Your schedule, you can always fit more. But he said, that is good. But the main thing is, you have to get the rocks first. If you don't fill the jar with rocks, you will fill it with sand and water. So those rocks are things which are really important in our life, which we value. For a sadhaka, it is his sadhana. It is his shravanam. It is his nididhyasanam, meditation. Don't keep it as sand and water. If I get time, I will do it. That day will never come. Uparati means whatever is my goal, that I am able to accomplish first. Then remaining things which are there, that is good to have. There is another activity that we generally do in our camps. Everybody is given a sheet of paper and asked to write each task in the day that we do and be detailed. Morning, getting ready, this much time, brushing teeth, this much time, breakfast, this much time, driving to work, driving kids to work, work hours, downtime, cooking time, include everything and appropriately include. Don't just keep adding buffers. Say for this particular task, how much time I should be spending. Taking shower, don't say 1 hour. You'll go off. You say, how much should I really be spending? 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time you want to write. What we will find is, if we add up all the hours, we will end up with 2 to 3 hours still remaining out of 24. If you add all the sleep hours, everything, and this you can try it. Once you go back, list down all activities, hours in front of it, add it up. We will find 2 to 3 hours is in our hand, should be in our hand. But what do we find? We are 2-3 hours short. Generally, this is the case. I don't know with all of you. We find 2-3 hours short. We should have gotten more time. The thing which will help us get those hours back is Uparati. So that time is not getting spent in something erroneous. But if we don't have our priorities in place, every unimportant thing becomes important. Every trivial thing will occupy time, and main purpose which we want to accomplish, that won't be accomplished. So Uparati is a great quality where other than his goal, this person doesn't see left and right. This quality we see in Nachiketa when he had to go to Yamacharya. You see, there is no description of Yamaloka anywhere. Nachiketa stopped by some shop somewhere, stopped by some other place somewhere, checked out something outside. He says, nothing doing. First I will go to Yamabhavana. What I have to accomplish, I will do it first. That is the power of Uparati. That is the power of focused goal. This is the third quality in the Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. Shamaha, Damaha, third one is Uparati. Fourth one is Titiksha. Fourth sadhana chatushtaya, inner wealth, is Titiksha. Titiksha means that ability to forbear pairs of opposites cheerfully. That quality is called as Titiksha. Now, where can opposites come from? Is a one pair of opposite is at physical body level. Bhagavan Krishna says, heat and cold, Shita Ushna. All of us have preference for temperature. In homes and offices, there can be temperature wars. Somebody wants warmer, somebody wants cooler. If it throws us off so much that we are unable to work, means I have to increase my Titiksha. I had read one anecdote in Gurudev's life. When he is visiting some remote village in India, there was no center there. So the regional Swamiji who was there, he took him to that place. And one senior devotee was there. He said, I'll host Gurudev. The Swamiji thought he's a senior person, he will know how to host. So he didn't check much. He just allowed him to take Gurudev home. But somewhere this thought was there, maybe second day I should go and see if arrangements are okay. He goes there and he finds the bed of Gurudev is the children's bed, 4 feet. The little one you get for babies, that one is there. And he got so upset, he said, even you could see him, right? He's 6 feet, 3 inches tall. How will you fit in that bed? Didn't you think? Gurudev looked at that Swamiji and he said, his first sentence was, don't complain, we are monks. We are monks, we should not complain. But the Swamiji said, Gurudev, how did you even sleep in that small thing, 4 feet long? He said, Arey, don't you know that diagonal is always longer than the edge? So he said, whole night I slept diagonally, I managed. These are titikshas which are recorded. Their titiksha is not limited to only bed size. When it comes to physical body level, pains that they go through, Mahatmas, and the spirit with which they are able to go through. It's a great inspiration for Titiksha. One level is physical body level. Whatever experiences come, pairs of opposite, pleasant and unpleasant, not getting very bothered by it. If you have traveled by train in India, lot of Titiksha will get tested. You might prefer to have a big berth. Big berth, whatever is there is there. You have to make it work. That ability to cheerfully go through is Titiksha. Then the second pair of opposite comes at mind level. What is the pair of opposite at mind level? Joy and sorrow. Some experiences are very pleasant, joyful. But some experiences give a lot of sorrow. Person who anticipates both can have titiksha in both of them. Sometimes what happens is, there is no anticipation of dukkham. There is no preparedness, readiness to face dukkham. That's why it becomes difficult in dukkham to face it with titiksha. But a person who has grace of God, he will come with this idea that Bhagwan, your samsara is such, it's a roller coaster. One day there is sukham, sometimes dukkham, again sukham, again dukkham. There is nobody in this world who has had only sukham all the time. Nobody who has had only dukkham all the time. With this conviction, he is able to have titiksha. By the way, all these qualities which are there, you can look at it logically also. but the one who is a true devotee of the Lord. All these qualities come to him effortlessly. Rather, it would not be incorrect to say these qualities are written looking at such a person. What is natural to a bhakta becomes a sadhana for a sadhaka. 12th chapter, Bhakta Lakshana, whatever is said, whoever has been a devotee of the Lord, it is not that they practice one by one. Today I practiced Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. Tomorrow I will practice Maitra Karuna Evacha. He said everything came to them with true devotion. Then it is systematically noted down so we can appreciate each one individually. So Titiksha at mind level, Sukha and Dukkha, joy and sorrow, he can forbear. Then at intellect level, the pair of opposite is Mana and Apamana. Praise and insult. In both these things, he is able to remain equanimous, he is able to forbear them. That ability is called as Titiksha. If he always tries to hold on to the pleasant experience, what is the shortcoming there? His mind will not be available for Brahmachintanam. See, experiences are such, they will keep coming in these pairs. Every day we will have pairs of opposites at physical body level, pairs of opposites at mind level, Sukha Dukkha or Mana Apamana. And if somebody has this idea that I will always hold on to Sukham at body level, favorable condition, I will always hold on to Sukham as far as experience is concerned, only Mana I will hold on to. He can try, but what it will do is, it will not allow him to focus on the truth. So Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita says, one who has Titiksha, that person can accomplish his final goal of immortality. Amrutatvam, this person will get who is having the ability to forbear pairs of opposites. We don't have to invite pairs of opposites, nor should we look out for trouble. There is sufficient, Bhagavan will keep giving. He says, whenever it comes, hold on to this Titiksha. Now I get to talk to many children, many youngsters. Whenever I discuss this topic, there has been always a question. It has been very consistent. Wherever I have discussed this topic of Titiksha, one question always comes up. You know, Titiksha sometimes is considered as sign of weakness. If we don't understand it correctly, this forbearance which is there, it is considered or misinterpreted, can be misinterpreted as a sign of weakness. That you do whatever, this person will not say anything. And such misunderstanding of Titiksha, consequences are at multiple levels. Kingdoms have been looted, nations have been lost, if this understanding of Titiksha is misunderstood. And while I was reading on this topic, I came across one article by Ramakrishna Paramahamsji. And I was very surprised by the way he was presenting this topic. And I felt whenever we hear Swami Vivekananda's quote about strength, a lot of the echoes are from Ramakrishna Paramahamsji's teaching about what is the meaning of forbearance. He says, it is true that whole world is God. Cow is also God, horse is also God, tiger is also God. But one doesn't go and hug tiger God. Our interaction with cow is different, horse is different, tiger is different. So he says in the same world, in the same way, in this world, interaction with different people has to be different. That is where this line comes, Samadarshanam is not Samavartanam. Samadarshanam means what? In enemy also you see the same Brahman. Bhagwan Rama fought with Ravana, but he didn't have personal animosity with Ravana. But at the same time, he did not say, Sita ji is taken away. What can we do? Titiksha. You see how Titiksha can be misinterpreted as a sign of weakness. Then he tells one story where he says, there was one forest where a monk wanted to enter. And right at the entrance of that forest, few young boys, mischievous boys, they stopped that monk. They said, don't enter this forest. He said, why? I am a monk. I don't fear. There is one ferocious snake. Venomous snake is there. Nobody has come out who has gone inside. Don't go. That monk says, don't worry. I know how to deal with snake. I know certain mantras. I will take care of it. He goes inside. Right when he goes, he sees that snake, ferocious snake, spewing venom. He chants one mantra. By the way, there are vidyas. Sarpa Vidya is also there. Where does it come? Chandogya, 7th chapter. Naradji knew this. He chants that mantra, that snake calms down. The stinging nature of that snake calms down. Then he gives upadesha to that snake, gives advice to that snake. He says, give up this ferocious nature. People who come to this forest have not harmed you, right? Then why do you unnecessarily go and sting them? Such kind of violence should not be there. Ahimsa you should follow. Chant this mantra, it will liberate you. Gives mantropadesha. There is power in words. The Sant Mahatma, he says it, the monk says it, that snake actually transforms. Hears his mantra, keeps chanting it, stays there. Now this monk comes out of that forest. The boys who are outside are surprised. They say, nobody who has gone inside came out. How come this monk has come? What did he do to that snake? They're curious. Go inside the forest after this monk has left. And they see that snake, nicely coiled, sitting in one place. They make some sound, thinking whether that snake is alive or dead. That snake is alive, but just wherever it is sitting. Then they throw some leaves, hoping that it will move. Nothing it does. Then they throw some stones. Then slowly they start playing with that snake. Taking it from here, throwing it there. Taking it from there, throwing it here. Nothing that snake did. Because its guru had told, don't do anything. Then 1 year later, this monk comes back. He says, I had given one mantropadesha to one snake here. My shishya is there. I wonder how that shishya is doing. But where will he find that snake in that whole forest? He starts chanting that mantra loudly. That snake hears it and says, my guru has come, I should go. Then he sees that snake all beaten up, black and blue. And he says, what happened? When I saw you, you were so healthy and nice. He says, I just followed your instruction. Your upadesha I followed, this was my condition. Then that snake tells the story. The final statement that the monk makes is, I told you not to sting, but I did not tell you not to hiss. I told you not to inject your venom in somebody else. But God has given you the strength to hiss so that nobody should take you for a ride. This was Ramakrishna Paramahansa's story to explain the point of Titiksha. That Titiksha is not a sign of weakness. That person is walking on the path of dharma. He is walking on the path of bhakti, sharanagati, which is giving him sufficient strength to say that no experience of the world will toss him away. And this point I feel is very, very important for children. I get to meet many of them and they themselves share so many experiences they go through in school. One side of it is inner strength. That no matter which experience I come through, it will not allow me to get tossed up and down with that experience. That is the hissing part. Hissing part doesn't mean somebody gets angry, you also get angry at that person. Not in that way. Hissing means he has that strength sufficient to not get tossed up by that kind of experience. If this much is there, then you can guide that child. And sometimes to guide also, you need that instruction at the right time. The main point is, whenever point of Titiksha comes, the natural question from the other side is, looks like a sign of weakness, forbearing all pairs of opposites at physical body level, mind level. But I hope both perspectives you are understanding. One is the Vyavaharik perspective, another is the Adhyatmic perspective. Transactional perspective, hold on to that story. But when it comes to Adhyatma, it is the same quality of Titiksha as far as other small things are concerned. See, always our mind doesn't get bothered by different experiences coming because of some external situation. Our preferences are sufficient to give sorrow. In those things, it is said, have Titiksha. Guruji once said, sometimes in few places, we have to get angry. He said the best example for this is Lakshmanji. If somebody says something to Bhagwan Rama, it is not the time to practice Titiksha. He says if somebody says to Bhagwan, that is the right time to get angry, but also step back from that anger. Where do you see this portion? Parshuramji's prasanga in Ramcharitmanas. Parshuramji comes with so much of anger. And Lakshmanji, in the same tone, he starts talking to him. But after a lot of dialogue happens, Bhagwan just makes an eye contact. He says, no, it's enough. I will take care. Your dialogues are done. From this point, I will take care. Then he doesn't again hold on to. He quietly leaves and sits down. In certain altars where we have Shradha, to protect those altars, it needs that inner strength. Okay, that is the quality of Titiksha. Now comes a mellower topic, okay. Quality of Shradha, faith. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shradha. What is this faith? Gurudev has given a very beautiful definition of faith. He says, faith is to believe in something that you don't know. Faith is to believe in something that you don't know, so that we can come to know what we believed in. Faith is believing in something that we don't know, so that we can come to know what we believed in. And we should not feel people who have faith are all superstitious people. I'm a very logical person. Faith is something we use at every step. If you want to make a dish, new dish, you look at the recipe. Do you see that final product right away? Or do we start with this faith that if I follow the recipe, I will end up with what they have promised? I have faith in something that I don't see. But culmination of that journey should not be, I have faith that I have made this dish. Culmination is, I actually see what I had believed in. That journey, what will make us walk? That quality is called as Shradha. Means look at the more applied side of it. We all would have certain ideal versions of ourselves. Or at least we should have, where we want to go. In different paths, either career goals, spiritual goals, family goals, or just as a person. Whom do you want to emulate? Do we actually see that thing right away in us right now? Not necessary. You might be far. What does faith say? You believe in something that you don't know, don't see. So that one day we can come to see what we believed in. Are you all with me on this definition or no? I mean, just think about the impact that this Shradha has in actually moving further in life. And majority of the times, if we don't have this faith, the narrative of our life will be dictated by people around us. The limitations of a person will be determined by peer pressure. And Shradha is that quality which will take us further in the midst of everything. There was a nice experiment that I had read about. They had one big box with many frogs in them. And there was one pole in between. The task was for those frogs to climb that pole. They had put some oil on that pole, and frog's body, is very slimy. So one frog decides to climb, starts taking the first step, slips and comes down. All other frogs start laughing. Again it tries, second jump, again it comes down slowly. All frogs start laughing. Then it says, maybe it's not worth trying. Every time I try, everybody laughs. Then one frog, the smallest frog, that wants to climb, and it actually climbs. And when they saw why that frog climbed, they came to know it was deaf. When everybody was laughing, it thought they were cheering. And it could come out. He says that is the quality of Shradha. In the midst of all noise which is there, having faith that this thing is true for me. That ability is called as Shradha. Just as it is important in secular world, what to talk about spiritual world? You tell somebody you are seeking something called as Brahman. He says, show me where it is. He says, no, it cannot be shown. Okay, at least do you know it? You say, it cannot be known. It cannot be known, it cannot be shown. Can you explain about it? It cannot be spoken about. And yet you are ready to invest your life in such a goal. He says, I have faith. There have been people who have walked this path. They have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. And if I follow the same path, I will also reach there. The one who has this quality, that quality is called as Shradha. In Ramcharitmanas, the parents of Bhagwan Ram are who? Dashrath Maharaj and Kausalya ji. In the previous birth, they were Manu and Shatrupa. Dashrath Maharaj was Manu, Shatrupa was, Kausalya ji was Shatrupa. Manu Maharaj represents Viveka. Manu means thinking person, discernment. And Shatarupa represents Shraddha. Shatarupa means it can take 100 forms. So that one faith, that one Shraddha can take 100 forms in a person. That Shraddha alone can show up as courage. Shraddha alone can show up as patience. Shraddha alone can show up as all the other qualities which are there in a person, but the root of that is faith. That's why the name is given Shatarupa. That faith which can take 100 forms. Shatarupa. So this is the quality of Shradha. In Nachiketa, where do we see this? First is his faith in himself. What does he say? Bahunamemi prathamaha, bahunamemi madhyamaha. But never I was adamaha. Means majority of the times I have done the right thing. And sometimes I got a doubt what is right, what is wrong. I was told to do something, then I did it. But never did I do anything knowingly wrong. Adamaha means that person who knows what is wrong and does the wrong thing. So that is his faith in himself. He says, I have walked the path of dharma. No wrong can come to me. Second is his faith in Guru and Shastra. He tells Yamacharya, don't give me any other options. This teaching I want to learn from you alone. Other than you, I don't find any other place where I can go and study. That is his Shradha in Guru. And the third faith is his faith in God. Faith in Bhagavan, that no experience is out of place. It is sent by Karma Phala Data. So that particular Karma Phala which is coming my way is his prasada. These three things will make sure that we are headed in the right direction. Shraddha in oneself will make sure we are working hard. Shraddha in Guru and Shastra will make sure our direction is right. And Shraddha in Bhagavan will make sure that whatever anxiety and uncertainty is there on the way, that will be removed through this faith. If a student is applying for university, he needs all three. First, faith in himself, that I can actually go there. Then faith in the person who is guiding him, that he will give me the right direction. And after having done that, having this faith, that there is somebody who will not, or who will make sure that I get what I deserve. All three things put together is called as Shraddha. Next one is called as Samadhanam. The last in the Shat Sampatti is called as Samadhanam. Adhanam means to keep. Adhanam means to keep. Some adhanam means to keep it very well. That ability to keep the mind very well in Atma Chintanam, to place the mind very well in Atma, that ability is called as Samadhanam. Means once he hears about Atma Tattva, he is able to stay with it for some time, at least. If he is able to stay with it forever, then it's a great accomplished sadhaka. But whenever he wants, for however long he wants, he can put his mind in that topic. That ability is called as Samadhanam. Quiz question. Which other sadhana chatushtaya that we have seen so far will go along with Samadhanam? Uparati. You can explain in different ways, but Uparati is the complementary of Samadhanam. Why is it? We have pulled our mind back. Uparati means to pull our mind back. We have gotten more time. But what do we do with that time? We have to invest it somewhere where we really want our mind to be. If we don't have that altar, then very quickly mind will go back into previous things. Samadhanam and Uparati go together. Sometimes people say, right, I want to retire. It's been sufficient and I've thought I want to retire. You see, retirement is good as long as Samadhanam is there somewhere else. Otherwise, we are pulled back, but no alternative altar to invest this mind back. So Samadhanam is that quality where this person can creatively, positively occupy his mind in that place where he really wants to place it. Okay? That is called as Samadhanam. Otherwise, one can have Samadhanam in watching movie also. Effortlessly mind can stay there. But that is not his goal. If he wants to put his mind in Brahma Chintanam, in studying Shastra, and he successfully does that, that is called as Samadhanam. Okay. Then the last one is Mumukshuthvam. This is the fourth sadhana chatushtaya. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, and last one is Mumukshuthvam. Mumukshuthvam means that ability to consistently seek liberation. That ability which is going to make us committed to the study of Shastra. And the burning desire or burning sensation of samsara in this world. Unless we see some dukkham, unless we see some shortcoming, this desire doesn't come. I have to be free from that. Just imagine, out of all these things, if always we are happy with objects, we are dissatisfied in between, but we are okay. Little bit of this, little bit of that. I can manage my life. And Vedanta comes and tells us, you have to seek something which is beyond this, beyond mind. Seek that Atma which is Ananda Swarupa. Doesn't appeal. One person came to Guruji and said, we experience so much sorrow. So many things come our way. Still, why don't we get Mumukshuthvam? He said, the amount of sorrow which is supposed to come has not come yet. Jitna dukh aana chahiye tha, utna aaya nahi hai. Means Mumukshuthvam is something where this person is carefully analyzing life. And he comes to a conclusion just by balancing things in realm of samsara, realm of jagat. It will never give me absolute happiness. There is one text called as Aparokshanubhuti, where all sadhana chatushtayas are described. Shankaracharya says for Mumukshuthvam, this person stands in front of God. And his prayer is, He Dayanidhe, Kada moksho bhavishyati. He says, O Lord, when will I be free from this samsara? Means what we should understand there is, until we have several other things as our demands from God, Mumukshuthvam is still there, but it is on the lower side. Remember that dial, 0 to 100? It is not completely absent. I still want moksha. But before that, Bhagwan, these things if I can take care of, that you checklist, then I will come to moksha. Nothing wrong with that, But a day should come when majority things are tick-marked. And our only prayer to God becomes, may I get this moksha. That person who sincerely asks for it is called a mumukshu. One is he has understood the afflictions of samsara. He sees things as they are. Sorrow coming from the world, objects, people, impermanence. All those things he pays attention to. At the same time, he has understood there is a way out. He is not just left there. He says there is a way out, seek that truth. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Having understood this, he is putting forth effort through sadhana, through knowledge, to actually come to abide in it. It is not a casual inquiry anymore. Casual inquiry can be, I want to know about Atma. I want to know about Vedanta. I have some questions about Vedanta. But this person is putting forth effort to live Vedanta. Change his personality in the light of this knowledge. That person is called as Mumukshu. Other person was curious, little bit more jijnasu. But Mumukshu is, Vivek Chudamani example, one whose hair is on fire. Gurudev says, if hair is on fire, do you think that person will ask opinion? Should I douse this fire in tank A or tank B or nearby tank or far away tank? He says, wherever he gets water, he will jump. Like that, wherever he gets ability to do bhajan, opportunity to pray, opportunity to do satsang, he will go and jump. That is the quality of a mumukshu. I remember Swami Akhandanandji Maharaj, first time he went to Gita Press. The owner of Gita Press, all of them were great saints. I think it was Jayadayal Goenkaji. He asks him, what do you want? Why have you come here? And he's just in his tears, telling only one thing, मुझे बस भजन चाहिए. You give me whatever work, editing work I will do, translation work I will do. Whatever you want you give, all I want is bhajan. If that is what I'm getting in Gita Press, he says, I'll come. I know I will get it, that is why I have come. And this he only tells. He says that mumuksha is such that this person wants things around Bhagavan. Everything he does can be related to it. He might be sweeping the floor. He might be doing some other task. But all of that is connected back to his Mumukshuthvam. And that grace takes him to knowledge. That grace takes him to Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. All of this is part of Mumukshuthvam. Not a casual seeker, committed seeker. How many have we seen now? 4, but there were 6 in the third one. Without looking at your notes, can you recap the whole thing? Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shradha, Samadhanam, Mumukshuthvam. If somebody asks, do you have sadhana chatushtaya? I know what it is. That is the first step, right? To appreciate each of this sadhana chatushtaya in its true meaning. And really speaking, all of us have sadhana chatushtaya in different measures to begin with. That's why in the first class only we saw, these are not some theoretical things. We use all these qualities day in and day out. Shama we use or not. Quieten the mind whenever it is important thing. Dhamma we use in our transactions. The only thing we have to do is start using these things for Paramartha. We have been using this for Vyavahara. That same mind I have to pull back, same Dhamma I have to use for attaining God. So that is the quality of Mumukshuthvam. Now we can enter the second Valli, which starts with a very, very beautiful mantra. Let us see what the mantra is. Anyachhreyonyadutaiva preyah. Anyachhreyonyadutaiva preyah. Te ubhe nanarthe purushagam sinitah. Te ubhe nanarthe purushagam sinitah. Tayo shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. Tayo shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. Hiyaterthadya upreyo vrunite. Hiyaterthadya upreyo vrunite. Simple meaning we'll see. Anyat shreyah, anyat uta eva preyah. The path of shreya is different. The path of prayer is different. Simple meaning of shreya is path of good. Simple meaning of prayer is path of pleasant. There are two distinct paths, and you start walking on either of them, both will bind. Te ubhe nanarthe purusham sinitah. Both these paths, because they have do's and don'ts involved in both of them, they will come to bind a person. This is simple meaning of Shreya and prayer. What is the deeper meaning? Deeper meaning of Shreya is one who is seeking abidance in the self. One who is seeking abidance, solution in Atmanishta. And prayer is the one who is seeking solace and solution in situations around. If situations are conducive, he says, I am happy. If situation is unconducive, I will try to make it conducive. That person is prayarthi, one who is walking on the path of prayer. And Upanishad says, both will lead us to different destinations. If I start walking on the path of prayer and hope I will reach Shreya, he says that will not happen. Te ube nanarthe purushagam sinitah. Out of these two, tayoho shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. One who chooses Shreya, everything is good for that person. Tayoho, out of these two, one who chooses Shreya, everything is good. What happens to the one who chooses prayer? Hiyate arthat yahu preyo vrunite. Hiyate arthat means the purushartha is lost. The greatest purushartha, moksha purushartha which was there, that doesn't become available to him. Hiyate arthat yahu preyo vrunite. But we'll discuss more on what exactly we mean by prayer. Generally we say prayer is path of pleasant. And pleasant also we consider it as some kind of addiction, some kind of wrong things that a person can choose. Really speaking, Upanishad is not referring to it. That is one meaning, but it is not the only meaning that Upanishad mantra is pointing out to. Because these addictions and all other things, they will never be said as a goal, first of all. If scripture is telling us there are two goals to pursue in life, you think Upanishads will tell that this goal of addiction is also one option? You say, no, that is not being mentioned here. Person who is seeking solace in paristhiti, that is one option. Person who is seeking solace in self-abidance, that is the second option. Between these two, one who chooses self-abidance, everything is good. Only paristhiti is missing out on the supreme-most pursuit. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.